Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and post this everywhere. I think I love that. There's nothing better than working with an awesome designer, especially as like a design engineer where you get to kind of like go back and forth on design, but they're like way better than you and you just get to kind of like polish and explore how to like implement things that are really good. So fun. This is the most annoying thing ever about Restream, is that it just keeps calling it the exact same thing. And it doesn't matter if I change the title in Restream, it streams it as the wrong thing and just always calls it adding new content type to W King. And I'm like, this is not true. Fake news. Okay. Done. Reposted a happy Halloween. Hope you get full-sized candy bars. I hope my kids do not get full-sized candy bars. My 2-year-old cannot handle a full-sized candy bar and go to bed after. So don't put that evil on me, Emmett. We're not doing it. All right. Let's go make sure everything's looking good on Twitch and get the link to share to Blue Sky. Ah, see, this is great. This is what we love. Twitch just works. Love it. All right. Also, Emmett, do you have a Twitch account? Oh, well, we're not going to put that. Did not realize that was the first post. That's fun. You do? Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to move to my code. All right, did that post? Yesterday I tried to post it and Blue Sky was just like borked because... All right, let's move over to this code. All right, Emmett, I need your help. If you have time this morning, I've added... I added like the alerts where it like shows up if you've got like a follower or something. So would you help me out in testing and test if that like alert would actually work if I get a new follower? Because I don't think you're following me on Twitch. So that would be like helpful just to see if it works or not. If I've got it set up correctly. All right, let's go to code. We are going to close out of this. And what's the shortcut for the terminal? J. And close that one. All right. Test. We're gonna delete a bunch of this stuff. I was helping friend of the, what's your channel name? W King Dev. No, all lowercase, no spaces. I was helping a friend of the stream, Jason Beggs, this morning debug a fun framer issue, framer motion. All right, so what we are going to be doing, I think this will be good. We'll just start with this. And we'll say hello world. And then we're gonna close this side window. I think it's, oh no, I think it's different in this. Is it E? No, that just focuses it. B, R. Right dock. Okay, cool. Can everybody see that? Why is it? I'm gonna make it bigger. Let me help everybody out. Whoop. Hello. Why can't it go bigger? There we go. Let's make it bigger this way. And just a smidge bigger this way. There we go. Now we can go over here to our browser and just make it the same size. Cool. That works. And then we want our terminal. Make this the same size. All right. Let's go to projects and W King. So I'm redoing the Twitch channel name, please. I told W King Dev. Sorry, did I not say that? I thought I said that out loud. Maybe I'm going crazy. And it's like, I'm trying to help you. Just help me help you. All right, npm run dev. Hello world. Perfect. All right, what we are going to be doing today. Okay, get ready. I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, my first on-stream follower where the notification may work. Fingers crossed. Oh, it worked! Holla at your boy. Thanks, Emmett. Thank you for testing that. It was actually just a ploy to make you follow me. Haha! Got him. Appreciate that. All right, so I am... I'm redesigning. Redesigning is... That ruled. Yeah, it did. It was like the most... I was looking at this yesterday, so like you can design them however you want. Like you could upload... Oh, there's another follower. Queen... Well... How do you say that? Queen... It's gone now. I can't see it. I think I should just use Twitch instead of Restream because... I don't know, a lot of you show up on X, but at the same time, I'm going over to Twitch because I want to see your name because that was too fast and it was too small on my screen. So I have no idea who that is, and I really appreciate the follow. All right.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Too late? What does that even mean?
All right, here we go. Let's go to my channel. Let's go to my channel. Welcome to the channel. How do you look at your followers? I'm so new to all this. Community? The heck if I know. But I really appreciate creator dashboard. That feels like everything looking good in this end. Yes! Cool. About me. You have 3 new followers. Get lit. So many followers. All right, I guess I'm not gonna waste my time trying to find it. I really appreciate followers list. Boom, found it. Queen never gonna die. Girl, we're definitely never gonna die. love the psychedelic mirror. Okay, so I was doing this. I was looking at like how to do this using a shader, because I wanted to do kind of like this like holographic-y type thing. Anyway, that is not what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're redesigning the blog at Crunchy, and so I'm going to be using Simplex Noise to, let's make this aspect, let's try 5x3, and we'll make this BG blue for right now. Let's make it rounded, medium, overflow, auto. Ahaha, that's what we want. And then we're gonna put like a margin of 4 around everything. What does it look like right now? That is a great question. Let me show you what it looks like right now. It might be super scrunched right now. I've noticed, so I got this from Josh Siri because it makes life a little easier. All right, crunchydata.com/blog. All right, this is what it looks like right now. Nope, that's our homepage. And see, it's so small. All right, let me see if I can, there we go. I'm just gonna shrink the font just a little bit so it looks a little better. I like reset my display resolution because it makes it to where I don't have to like go in and resize all of my code editor to make it very visible for y'all. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now, which is like not terrible, but it's not great either. Like it's you're boring, you know, you're basic. We did it. It exists. We're a dev tool company, but the images are like super not very like art directed, if that makes sense. Like they're not consistent across everything. So and then we've got like this big header image here that doesn't necessarily apply. So we're gonna do some things to kind of try and make things just a little nicer. And I'm going to be exploring that today. And one of the things that I thought about was basically just have like whatever our latest post is on the homepage, have this like generative, like have a featured post, which is basically just like, this is our first post and we're going to make it generative, where it's like calculate something unique to it. So like we'll do like author name and the date and try to like, we'll basically like crunch that into like a unique ID and use that unique ID as the seed for the generative art. So like each piece's background, when it's featured, is like generative and unique. So that's the plan. So there'll be like this one featured one at top. We're gonna use Simplex Noise. I've got this article, if any of y'all are like wanting to take a deeper dive into what we're gonna kind of try and talk about today, this article right here that's called The Generative Part of Generative Art, which kind of just goes over the very basics of like what it means to do generative art, and I show like Simplex Noise in it. So this one's just like, it's a random value, and then this one's just like, it's a bunch of random values and random widths and sizes. Like boom, generative art, but it's not good. Then like we get into like, okay, well like then you can kind of add your own constraints. Like on this one, I manually manage color, so it's like cool colors in the top left to warm colors in the bottom right. And then we get into like, okay, there are like algorithms that you can use. There's Simplex Noise, Fibonacci sequence, L systems, Truchet tiles, all these like super fun things. So I just do like Simplex Noise, and like Simplex Noise is what they use in video games to like be able to do generative topography. So you can kind of see here, let me regenerate it to where it's kind of like a little bigger. There we go. And so it's got this like, you can crunch down or spread out how, basically what it does is it uses, you can think of it as like, this is like the highest part of the map and this is the lowest part of the map. And the algorithm uses like, okay, based on what number you just generated, we're going to, using a scale, decide how quickly we go from like a high value to a low value. Thanks. I appreciate that. There are people who are like extremely like, if you think this is cool, you should go check out some generative stuff that people do. I've got at the bottom of this article, if you just go to WKingDev, it's the first one in the timeline. At the very bottom, I've got like some resources, and I mean the things that these people put out are just like incredible. It's so cool. I love generative art. Which is like what I'm doing on the other project, even just to begin with, is like and why I'm doing this for Crunchy is like you can have these like personalized, unique aspects to a website that don't have to be like intrusive, you know, like we'll see how well this goes, and what we're gonna do here. Jesse, what's up, man? William. I wonder when Allie's gonna like see that I'm streaming and try to hop on and troll me at some point. At some point. All right, so my plan on this one is to do. Let me pull up Figma because I want to do like a Simplex Noise for color, and I also want to do it for like dither. I have come to the conclusion that Father Bergson is so weak. He only has a single dodge. And having a single dodge is not great. It's not great. And his shield mode is like basically useless. Sorry. For any of y'all that don't know what me and Jesse are talking about, there's this game called Children of Morta. I struggled beating Spider Boss with Father, but then beat it with Linda. Yep. And likewise with Big Void Boss in the. Yep. I've got the first two spirits, and I'm into like the third new section. And I've unlocked all the characters. There's a lot of fun coming. I'll just tell you that much. All right, so what we are going to do here is I'm going to make a grid for dither purposes. And we're gonna make them 4x4. 4x4 feels pretty, like we'll have some good options. And what I'm gonna basically do is, in the same way that, also I realize this one's probably not, that probably makes it worse because then y'all can see less of the screen, but I don't need layers, so we can do that. All right, cool. In the same way that this is like color, you can also tile you can tile like patterns too. Like color is just like one option. So like what I want to do is just to show y'all kind of what dithering is. Why am I typing Pinterest into the search bar? I want to, there we go. Dithering is like a pixel art kind of thing where you do, here's a good example of it. You see how it goes from like solid to not solid. It's like a way of like in pixel art. This is like a good example too. Like I want it to kind of, the background to have this kind of like, not glitchy, but like it's dithered, is like the way to explain it. But yeah, like you can kind of see these little things here. Like this one's really cool. Shout out to Hyperlight Drifter. Heck yeah, that would show. Yeah. So that's like the idea, is that I'm going to create basically like a high to low. Don't even worry. That's the fun part of streaming, is that it doesn't have to be about what I'm streaming about. Basically what I want to do is create like a scale of this tile is like fully solid, this tile is fully not solid, and we're going to, yeah, kind of a bit like ANSI art or ASCII. That's ASCII. And there's, so now what I want to do is figure out the right amount of removal. This one's gonna be like all of these suckers are transparent. We're gonna group it, and there's gonna be 0 opacity, but it needs to exist. Okay, cool, I can still grab it. All right, and then this one basically needs to be like, it's only got a couple, this is tough, because it's like, I want oh, I know what I can do on like one like this. We could do like, delete here, delete this whole row, delete here, and then oh wait, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to delete here, and then delete this whole row. That feels like a good amount. So it's like very, very spread out. And then for this one, maybe it's just like the curse reverse of that, where it's like that. And then like this one would be, okay, we're gonna delete here and here. There we go. That feels like a decent, we'll see how this works. So anyway, then what I'm gonna do is merge all these together into one, because that makes the SVG nicer, the SVG code much, much nicer. Oh no. All right. I want you to go over here. There we go. Ungroup. There we go. I'm gonna group you. Merge you all together. Oh, that's not what we want. Group. And we'll probably do some like manual. Where'd my merge tools go? I want this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. And then I want two. There we go. All right. Guys, the new, y'all, I don't know if any of y'all are designers or anything, so you might not be in Figma a bunch, but Figma did this thing where they redesigned their entire UI to make it better, and it made it worse. And everybody feels that way. Actually have to get some things done today. Nice work. Thanks, Emmett. You don't want to hear my voice behind your head, like just in the background, just chattering away while you try to focus, Emmett. All right. Then we're going to export all of these as SVGs. We're going to call this step 1. We're going to call this one step 2. You'll never guess what I'm going to call the next one. Do y'all like the background music? I think there's like there's a way to do that kind of stuff in Twitch to where people can turn it off if they don't like it, but other people can keep it on. But I think you have to like get like a whole like other tool, and then they can comment like exclamation mark playlist or exclamation mark something and choose to not have it going. Failed to export? What do you mean failed to export? I mean, I'm not too worried about it if this doesn't work. Yeah, it's probably because it's all transparent. It's like, what am I supposed to be exporting? That's fine. I can manually write that one. All right. So then what we want is step 1. Return. And we're going to grab our step 1 dither. Throw that up here. Save that. All right, width for blah, 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 blah. Fill. We want this fill to be able to be passed in. What can we call it? So if you say pass current color to fill, then whatever text color the parent is for this, that is like what it is. So do I have this one? Yes, I do. Cool. This will allow us to pass that in. I don't know if we'll do canvas right now. Then we're gonna have a step 2, a follow from rats. Those happen too fast. I need to have Twitch up. Super appreciate the follow. Let's go ahead and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull up Twitch and I'm gonna bring it down to another.
And I also do have.
I bet there's like a. All right, follower list. Go. God is my judge. He is our judge. Amen. All right, awesome. I'm gonna like move this tab to be like down here so that I can check it periodically. All right. Cool. Well, if anybody wants to like say hey in chat, I appreciate the follow. All right. Where were we? That's right. We were writing SVGs so that we can use them for the generative part. All right. Now I'm going to rename these. We got step 3, step 4. I think I have 5. Let's find out. All right. Finder, where'd you go? Where did Finder go? Come back. There we go. All right. Yeah, we'll need 5 total. We're gonna go ahead and throw these all in here. What? You can go up there. I already took care of you. All right. So step 2, now that we've duplicated those, the only thing we need to copy is the stuff inside the quotes. All right, step 2, change in quote, paste. Step 3, same thing. 4. We want to select inside the quote, yank it, and oh no. I think I just overrode. Yeah, I did. Alright. One sec. Paste that one. Yank. Paste. Then we'll grab step 2 again. Yank. Paste. Alright, cool. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one we need is 4. Which we probably don't even... The last one we need is 5. We probably don't even need 5. It just feels good to just have it. Alright. Fill. Transparent. It doesn't even matter what's here. It just needs to be a path. Alright. Okay, cool. Step 1, step 2. Oh, do I have 2 step? Is that why I did it? That's why. Alright. This step 1 can go. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Cool, got them. Got them all. Alright, then the next thing that we want to do is we're going to go to generative. I was showing this to people earlier. How long have you been using Zed? So I tried it probably like 6 or so months ago, and the TypeScript support was not great. It was super slow. It kept like taking forever to like load the types that we wanted, that I wanted. All right, this is what we want. But then I like heard that they had put out some like updates to that to make it faster. So I tried it again, and they have like a really good Vim mode, and I started using Vim, and it's very nice. It's such a good, it's so much better than VS Code, in my humble opinion. Okay, cool. Now that we have that, now we're gonna go down here to, I think it's like demo 4. Let's see if this one uses it. Create array of links. Demo 4, yes, this is it. All right. Here's some stuff that we want to take, just for now, and we'll figure out what all we want to actually keep. SVG, rows, column. Oh, I forgot that that's how I did it. That's probably a better way. Well, I can't do it in this case because maybe I could. Because technically, yeah, maybe I could. We'll see. We'll see, friends. We'll see. I'm not going to get crazy just yet. Rows, columns. Yeah. This is all making sense now. All right, let me go down here to the helpers because I just want to grab. What I want to grab is create array of length to start out with, because I know I want to reuse that. And now, whoop. Okay. Use state, definitely need that. Use memo, need that. Because we only want to make one instance of the create noise 2D helper. Box size is going to be 4, although I don't know if that matters in this case just yet. So we are going to start by making this. This is going to be kind of big. So we want, do we want 8 column 800 by like 1000? makes sense to me. Does it make sense to y'all? Makes sense, right? Okay. Then what we are going to do is we are going to rows dot map for every row. Map row. Because I think the way that I created this function is it actually, yeah, it makes the value that's in the spot the index that is there, which is really great, because then you don't have to like use the like comma index. You can just grab it. I love how you hesitated before saying Fisk. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Yeah. That's fine. Rows. Yeah, that's the X and the Y. That's how I did it. X. And then columns dot map. So this is basically gonna be like the algorithm of like, it's gonna go through every thing in the first row, every column in the first row, then it'll move to the next and it'll go down, and that's gonna be how the rest of this is all calculated. And in this case, we did it like this. In this case, what we're going to do a couple things here. First, we're gonna return step 1, class name. Let's call this text pink. We're just gonna really make this first one pop. So basically, like, this is just going to make, well, let's do one that's like more interesting than just the solid one. All right, step 2, pink. All right, yep. Of course, we need a key. Leave me alone. For those of you who don't know what a key is in React land, when you're doing a map, aka like you're generating an array value for React to know like what things are changing in that list of components, you give it a unique key so that it can track like when something gets like rendered and removed from the DOM for like updating purposes. It just makes it a lot more efficient. Use state not defined. That, I think I fixed that problem. Nope. Let's go back. That's not what I want. All right. No, I definitely did. Use state. Is it mad at us for anything else? No. Oh. Invalid. That's a warning. Let's just restart our server and we'll see what happens. Maybe it just, there's some cases where that just happens, where it's like what you did is so, all right, we're going to go ahead and find all of these and replace it with this, because one of those fun React things, instead of dashes, you got to use camel case, unless it's like a data attribute or an ARIA attribute. There we go. All right, browser, reload. What are we mad about this time? Oh, snap. What is going on? I didn't think I broke everything. Heap allocation reached? Snap. Oh, it's probably because my thing is so big. It's probably like, why are you, okay, that's kind of a lot. So I might have to end up using Canvas. Let's start smaller and just, this is really just a test to see if I even like it. You know, like I may not like how this looks. Let's see if it's happier now. Whoa. Oh, that's why. That was like another thing that I needed to do. Stop. I got so used to, I did it again, guys. My keyboard shortcut. Oh, but it didn't open this time because VS Code's so slow. That's why it's not opening yet. Remind me later. I'm busy right now. Okay. This needs to be, we're going to add a style. And because we're going to position everything absolute to a relative parent, which is going to be this fella. And we want it to basically be like a left, where left is X times box size. And then top is Y times box size. And then we just need to update all of these to take SVG attributes, which is a fun problem. It's not that hard, but basically we want to do HTML SVG. There's an attributes. I do this somewhere else. HTML input type attribute. Yeah, this is like it, but it's for, let's see. Let me go to our file system. I think it was R. Yeah. Because I do this already somewhere. No. Yes. Yes, no, maybe so. This one does not. This one does. There we go. This is what I want right here. SVG props. Yank. This is just like TypeScript stuff to give me, so now like anything that an SVG should be able to accept, this will now accept. And you can just spread it onto the SVG to basically say like, give me all the props on this SVG element, and anything that comes after will override it, just as if you had done it like this. Like if you were wanting to set the width to 4, you could do this. Like when you're building a new object, but this is like when you're doing it in a React component, any prop passed after spreading props overrides any matching one that's set inside of there. Cool. So that, now if we go to our browser, yep, everything's where it needs to be. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's pink, so it's not like exactly what we're going for here, but it's getting us somewhere. Yes, so help me. I just got so used to doing the VS Code one. Let's go ahead and close that down so we got a little more view for everybody. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get a noise value. And the way that we get the noise is by grabbing this. This is going to be the noise for this iteration. It's called noise 2D. So the way the algorithm works is like this is now an instance based off of this random value. And I'm always going to get the same value because I turned off randomness. So it'll be like if I turn this to true, when I reload it, it'd be a different value every time in a minute. But this creates basically like the algorithm. So every time I fetch a number from this, internal to this noise 2D, a pointer changes. Is this a ticket from Crunchy Labs to work on, or is this just because you want to do this? So kind of both. Like we do tickets on some things, but this was just like me and my boss Craig, Crunchy Craig. Well, he was like we need to like rethink how our blog looks to kind of clean it up, make it look a little like more professional, a little like the images don't really match. We want to kind of make the summary pages a little better. And then as a design engineer, my job is to like design and engineer it. So this is just like, I have pretty good freedom on choosing how to implement designs. And then I'll get feedback from people and see what they think. But like, as far as like exploring what the design should be, I do both. And we just kind of iterate from there. It allows us to move really quickly on a lot of things, because I do both, and I get it to a state where it's like ready to be reviewed by the stakeholders that matter. And then, yeah, that's it. All right. So we're going to do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. So what we're doing here now is saying, all right, I want an array of steps. I've got the noise, and then the way that I know which step to use, which will be placed here, like this will now be the component. The way that I do that is I'm going to go to this noise rect because it shows the implementation of how to. Okay, so get color by noise. I pass in colors, I pass in noise, and what it does is it does this thing right here. But we're gonna change this function just a little bit, because that one's like very specific to but we are working with, okay, so read through this. This will help kind of understand it. Simplex Noise generates a value between -1 and 1, but we're working with an array, so we can't do a negative index. So this like converts, this basically takes in t, so it's gonna be an array of some generic, and then it takes in a noise number, and based on that, all right, values, get from array. So what this basically says is, math floor, this part right here takes -1 to 1 and maths it to be from 0 to 1, and then we multiply that value to get like a random index that falls within whatever the length is of the array that we're passing in, and then we use that index to grab the value from here. This is going to be mad because it could be undefined, blah blah blah, but we know it's not going to be. So there's like some TypeScript foo I could probably do, but I don't feel like doing to like, basically my coworker wrote this whole thing that we use in our Crunchy project. That's basically like, we know this is the non-empty array, but we're not worried about that right now. We're just exploring. So like, we make things ugly, and that doesn't matter. Get from array by noise. This is going to be steps. That's going to be noise. We now have a step. And now when we go back to the browser, oh, there we go. See, it's starting to work, but we didn't do did it again. LOL. This is like me in the cabinet doors. If any of y'all don't follow me on Twitter and don't know that I like frequently forget to close cabinet doors, my wife always reminds me by taking pictures and posting it on Twitter that I forgot to close the cabinet doors. So we just want to copy this and do it on all of them. Perfect. And then we want to cut. And I messed up something with the paste. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's just an extra paren. Yep. All right, MBD. Easy fix. All right, now that we save those, when we go back, oh, that looks so much better. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I actually do really like this. What do y'all think? I mean, obviously the color stuff needs to be figured out. That's going to be my next step. So help me if I press the wrong shortcut one more time. Oh my goodness. Looks pretty good. Thanks. All right, let's mess with the colors a little bit too. So basically, like, the next thing that we can do is we can say const colors, and then we're going to choose basic. We're going to put in a bunch of Tailwind classes. I don't know if I want to do only blues. That's the only reason I'm hesitating at the moment. And like, we'll have probably some different colors that we'll be using on our actual Crunchy project. But I was thinking of like doing indigo. That's what it was called. Maybe like some indigo and some sky, like and sky and cyan. So I need basically for the match. Actually, no, I could do. Okay, let's try this. What if we did. Let's see how this ends up looking. You like violet? Let me look. I need to quit. If PHP just. If I could just get Z editor to like PHP. I don't think that's very high on their priority list. Yeah. Violet would be. Let's just try that out. We'll try some out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I've just been streaming PHP and VS Code, and I keep pressing my keyboard shortcut for VS Code instead of Z. All right, text violet. We'll try this first. All right, so let's say we do a violet 800. We'll do a violet 600. Then we're gonna do a purple 600. Is that? I don't even think that's indigo is the next one. And what's fun about this is like the two arrays don't have to be the same length. So I could, so that like all solid blocks are one color, but I think it'll look a little cooler if what we do is, so we're gonna do sky. I don't know if doing all of these darker colors will look good. We'll play around with things once we get going. But let's just get an example up there. Okay, so there's our colors. Okay, and because we're using the same noise value that's plucked out, it should be the same. So now when we go back to here, well, before we do that, we need to remove this text paint because that will make it confused as to what it should be doing. Okay. Why is this happening? was really slow. Oh, it's because there's so many nodes. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this in Canvas. It's not liking text violet. Yeah, this is going to keep being mad at me because I have so many SVG elements. Let's go ahead and open that in a new tab. That way we'll be able to work a little quicker because I just want to look at the root to see what colors I have available. Zinc, stone, red, orange, yellow, lime, green, emerald. So I should have all of these. Sky, blue, indigo, violet. Why are we mad? Maybe my internet's bad. Is my internet bad? Is the stream still going? All right. Just for the sake of making this faster to iterate, let's make this even smaller. Let's just do 50 by 30. There, that's faster. But I'm just real confused on why the text color is not showing up in what's getting generated. I wonder if I did, because they should be able to pick up on the fact that the string just exists. See, it's all showing up here. And if I went and did that, and then suddenly it's working, of course. So it's just not picking up on those strings for some reason. The compiler is not picking up on the fact that these strings exist. So let's just do this. I wonder if it needs, no, that would make 0 sense. Because the elements don't exist in the DOM yet. No, I don't, well, it might just, that might be the case with how the Vite plugin works. But usually the way it worked was like on file save, it just literally just scrapes the entire file to see if that color exists. Like if any string matches, is what it usually does. But it might have changed in, I'm using Tailwind version 4, and that might be one of the changes that happened. So let's just try this. Just to get this working for now. So that will hopefully make them all show up. so that when the class gets added here, it will be good. All right. Yes. Okay, that worked. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I mean, one other idea that I had was to do was to basically say, like, make everything text white and then add a scaling opacity to everything. So color, instead of color, it would basically be like opacity, and because that's already a fraction, we would do the whole math, this part right here, which now we can just, let's just pull that into its own function, which is, we're going to call this scale noise. It's going to take noise, which is a number, and return another number. And it's just going to be this part right here. And then we can do that, which is what we want. But we don't need this part anymore. Return, math floor. That's a lot of parentheses. I feel like not all of those, are they all required? Yeah, don't think this set is required. That should work now. And that way we can say, like, our opacity is going to be just scaling this noise. And that way it'll be some value. Ooh. Does it need, is opacity, I thought opacity was like index based, not, but maybe the indexes are all just real slow. We're going to find out. All right. Opacity 0, opacity 0, opacity 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, all those might be 0. Surely not everything 0. Did I do? Oh, snap. That's because I need to multiply it by something. Because it's a floor. That's what's happening. That's okay. Yeah, I just made that thing wrong. Math floor times the length. So the floor part's not important. The floor part is important for getting an index. That's what it is. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is now correct. Yes, there we go. But we want that to be curse reversed. We want it to be more opacity as it gets away from that. So I think what we want to do then is say 1 minus. There we go. See, that's a little better. And then what we can do there too is now we can say, because elements, yeah, is we can say, like, make our maximum this. And we could say return the smaller, no, math max. Return the larger of 2. And what we will do here is say, like, even the smallest ones, we want to at least be like 0.2 or something so that we don't go down to 0. That's better. That's better. Okay, I kind of like this a lot. Because just like picture this over this entire blue box. And it's not going to change now. Like, you see how it stays the exact same. But if we go over here and set this to true and go back to our browser, now you see how this changes based on like the noise algorithm. So basically what we'll do is we'll use a seeder, and like the seeder will make sure that every post has the same pattern that gets generated, but every single post has its own unique pattern keyed to the information on this one. So, all right, this feels pretty good as far as like being able to generate something. And I like how the dithering has turned out. That's pretty nice. And then we can do some more things to kind of play with it. So for instance, if we go to, this is the last thing that I'm going to do, then I got to go do the other parts in the crunchy code base that I cannot be sharing here. So if we go here, what we will be able to see is that I define so these are state values, but they don't change there, but I can make them change if we use this stuff. So we're just going to grab this whole little thing. See, this is the best part about like exploring things and just building things, because then when you find a use case for them that you like, where you're like, I think this actually could apply to this use case, you now can like you now have all this stuff to like pull from. So now I can just throw this in there and it's done. Like now when I go back to check this out, now when I go back to the browser, we've got this part right here, and I can change how smooth it gets. And this means like when because I kind of like the idea of it being like very spread out versus like a whole lot of noise. So like the more spread out it is, the better the pattern will be. And then the next thing that I have to figure out, I've just got to figure out how I can do this dithering in Canvas instead of SVG, because that is way too many elements, and that like Canvas is built for this. So yeah, that's the part that I'll have to figure out. But cool. Yeah, appreciate y'all. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream for the day. But thank you to everyone who showed up. And thank you for the follows that I got. I like kind of doing this in the morning, and it's nice to kind of do this a little more consistently. Anyway, I will try to share if you follow me on Twitter at wking__ or on Blue Sky. I think it's wkingdev on Blue Sky. No, it is wking.dev, because that's Blue Sky's awesome, where you can just like set your domain. So like if you own something, you already own something you really like, your domain, and nobody else can own your domain. So like you can't get something stolen from you that you really like. So you just get to set your username as something you already own that you already like. So anyway, follow me on there. I'll share like updates as I get further along with all this. I just can't stream stuff from our crunchy code base. See ya.